On our agenda today, I'll have a brief bio on our presenter, Nelson, and then jump right into Nelson's presentation. And then once Nelson has completed, we will pick it up. I will pick it up, I should say, and we'll talk about how to get connected with DocuSketch in your Proven Jobs database. And then finally, we'll have our Q&A. A brief bio on Nelson. He is a partner and COO of XTR Consulting Inc. and a strategic partner in charge of estimating for DocuSketch. His home base is in Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada, but he covers projects throughout North America. He currently holds an XCT, Xactimate Certificate Trainer Certificate, and has held this designation for over 10 years. With more than 35 years experience in the insurance industry from both the contractor and adjuster perspectives. He is experienced in all aspects of scoping and estimating property damages of residential and commercial buildings, and has been involved in completing estimates and projects of all sizes through completion. He has gained a vast amount of knowledge on leveraging new technologies to help clients with in-depth documentation and the cycle of a claim. I will now stop my share. And Nelson, if you want to unmute yourself, and if you will pick up your share, we'll start with your presentation. It won't let you unmute. Let's see. How about now?
Got it. Perfect. Everybody can hear me?
Yes, sir, we can.
You can read lips really well because I said it won't let me unmute and you got it.
It's a skill, I got to tell you.
It's got to be for sure. Hello, everybody. Thanks for having us today. It's we really appreciate your time. We know it's time is a very delicate thing these days with storms and winter storms and claims everywhere. So we having that time is appreciated by us for sure. I wanted to talk about DocuSketch as a whole and the best practices of DocuSketch before I hand it back to Kristen to talk about how it integrates within the system at PSA. If you're using DocuSketch already, great. Hopefully today you learn a few extra things, maybe a little bit difference on how things should be documented with DocuSketch. And if you're not and you have questions, by all means, please feel free to reach out at any point. What you're looking at on the screen is my actual cell phone, and you can see that I'm moving my main page up from DocuSketch and our app. Our app on the phone, as you can see, houses our tours on the bottom, a camera, full support. We have 24/7 support on our app and a full settings. It's very simple to start a new project in DocuSketch. Your field techs, everybody in the field has the ability to go in quickly and get through a project very fast. The idea of being able to get in and out and take good documentation is probably one of the things that every restoration company wants, every insurance company wants. The biggest thing that is happening in our world when I'm looking at estimating and I'm looking at documentation from contractors, there are tons of pictures, but the pictures will cover 2/3 or 75% of the room. And that one area where you need the picture doesn't get documented. So 360 takes that away. 360 can also be used wrong though. So if you're using it incorrectly, you might miss that area still. So you want to make sure that you get it. So quickly we'll go through first and foremost how easy it is to set up a new job within DocuSketch. I will click new in the top right. It's as simple as entering a name. So we'll do a PSA test. We'll put our camera height. So the camera will default for us at 5'3", depending which camera you have for us on the tripod. This is all done through training if you have not been using us. Ceiling height, we can default at 8 feet or change it. And we have the ability of use my location. So as you can see, once I click on it, it's very fast. It is correct. It's given my home address. And one big thing you need on every claim, I don't know an insurance claim or a job that's not covered by insurance for that matter, anywhere in North America, that you do not need a front photo of the house. So if I click on attach front photo, it's going to use my phone and not the camera that DocuSketch uses. So I'm going to click on it. We'll show you the snow, lovely Nova Scotia snow. And that will then give us that photo for later on. So if we had that, if that was the front of the house, we would have it. We could show it to any of the carriers or any of our clients. I then just have to hit create. As soon as I hit create, it lets me add my first room. And we will name those, the rooms you will see are preemptive so that we can make sure that they're spelled properly. And we have the ability of telling it which floor. DocuSketch is great at picking up which floors, which areas go where, but unfortunately the computer doesn't necessarily understand the floor you're on unless you tell it. We give you the ability to go over 50 floors. So there's a lot of room to be able to do what you need to do there. We'll just go back to the first floor and I would hit create. At this point, when hitting create, I would hit add shots. I cannot currently hit add shots because I can't show you my camera, but let's talk about what happens when I hit add shots. When I click on add shots, I then get the ability to start shooting. When I hit start shooting, the camera will take a 180 shot on one side of the camera, half the room. It'll take the other half when you walk around so that you're never in the photo. If you notice that you're ever in a photo, you want to step away and hit reshoot. You're blocking documentation. You're blocking the area for measurements. It's not great to have you in the photo or people moving around for that matter. It's a lot better documentation if you can have a clear shot. If there are people in the photo, it's not the end of the world, but it's best that you don't have that. When you're shooting a home, I'm going to move this slightly out of the way and we're going to look at my house. It's a great example of shooting a home. I have shot my own house several times. The main floor on my house is about 1,200 square feet. I have actually shot this with 5 tripod placements. The blue dots are tripod placements. The problem when I did it was I shot one in the front entry, one in the hallway, one in the living room, one in the kitchen, one in the office. So that meant I missed my back entry, I missed the powder room. But more importantly, when I did those shots, if I shot from the middle of my living room, what it ended up doing for me was giving me a setup of, okay, my camera or tripod placement was right here by the table. It didn't enable me to see on this side of the chair. It didn't enable me to see on this side of the chair. I couldn't see behind the couch. When I shot in my kitchen, I took a shot in my kitchen, right in the middle of the kitchen. It didn't let me see around the table. It didn't let me see on the other side of the counter. These are the things that you need to make sure your team understands and they're looking at for documentation. If they understand that and they know, okay, let's go get that, life is a lot easier for your people in the office. Life is easier when you have a reviewer saying, I need to see a picture of that. If you use the example of my own home, and let's say the sink overflowed and we had to remove this island, it is not uncommon in the mitigation world, in the restoration world, for a mitigation team or emergency team to come in and take photos of the island, take photos of the kitchen, and take measurements of the kitchen, which is fantastic for that area. But for you to get to the kitchen would mean walking through this living room. It would also mean walking through this hallway and front entry. If you carry the cabinet out and hit a wall, there would be no way of you documenting it if you didn't take a 360 of it. So it's far better to take the 360 from the entry point of the home to the cause of loss, making sure that you're able to see everything. So again, I'm in my living room. I can't see behind the chair. I'll take a shot behind the chair. I can now see behind the chair and around the table. I can't see behind the couch, so I'll take a shot behind the couch. All I'm doing is looking at what I can see. If I cannot see it, the camera cannot see it. So I'm making sure that I have visual of every area of the whole home. If you have an area where you have nothing in the middle of the room and everything's against the wall, then the best thing to do is to take that shot just in the middle of the room. In the bathroom, go in and take the shot just in the middle of the room because there's nothing in the way there. I'm going to move this back over here briefly now and show you the next piece. So one great thing about what DocuSketch has done is given you the ability to add notes to a room. So you can see when I look through my DocuSketch, I have a 4 here, a 7 here, an 8 here, 7 here. What that's telling me is there's been 7 pictures taken or 8 pictures taken of that area. In DocuSketch, we'll find one with very little. Upper hall, we'll just do right here. We'll do the powder room. So if I go into the powder room, I have instantly the ability to look around that room and have a great view of what's there while I'm at the job before I've uploaded. I can then do a long hold or hard hold on the screen, and it will let me take a picture. So again, I'm going to take a picture of the snow because I'm not in that room. Pretty bright out there right now, so we'll just do the window. And look what happens when I do that. It gives me the ability to call it a note or call it cause of loss. So if it was the toilet and the toilet overflowed, I would click on cause of loss. Then I can add a description. And the best part about this is I am very fat fingers. I'm a slow typer. So I don't have to type. I can use voice to text. Cause of loss, toilet overflow, plugged from a toy in the trap. Now I have documentation of cause of loss. It is listed red. As you see on my previous on the screen here, normal notes are green. Cause of loss is red, specifically pointing it out. So after I upload it, it will shine red everywhere we go with it. You also have the ability then in that same room, if you like, to put just a note, or if I want to take a picture of some damage, some pre-existing damage on the wall, you know, something like that, that I want to have an understanding. Scope of work, if I want to put down what the scope is. Long hold, I don't have to take a picture. I can actually click on the note. Scope of work, remove and replace baseboards, detach and reset pedestal sink, detach and reset toilet, remove and replace ceramic tile and thin set, have walls checked for moisture, they may need to come out. That note is now there. The minute I hit upload, that is there for everybody to see. You could do moisture readings here. You can take a picture of your moisture reading. You can then go back the next day and have a look and see where that was actually taken every time, setting you up to make sure that you are documenting this thing to no end. People will look and say, wow. You also then have the ability to send this tour to an adjuster with those notes there or with them out. It's totally up to you on which way you want to look at that. When the user's all done doing those things, the user will go back to the main screen and then click upload. As you can see on the main screen, when we look here, if upload is needed, it's telling me that it's needed. In this case, this is a great example. This is my house where we just were. We have upload needed. We have sketch has been ordered. SOW added. Scope of work added. DocuSketch has a scoping tool, which I'll go back and show you before I upload. And DocuSketch now has the ability to order estimates directly through its app, telling you how many estimates were ordered and how many have been returned. So 1 of 2 have been returned on this. I'm going to go back in briefly and show you the scope of work. You can see here, we have the hammer saying that there's a scope of work. It's really a great tool. If I hit add, you can see that I have a drop-down menu of pretty much everything that would be in Xactimate or Symbility. It gets updated usually once a quarter. We try to update it because Xactimate's been making a lot of changes lately. CoreLogic's been making a lot of changes. So we're making sure that we're trying to keep it updated. But let's say we're doing a water mitigation. I can go in here and I can say emergency service call after business hours. We'll do extraction of hard surface, category 3, after business hours, the whole area. Oops. We'll do content handling, not hourly. We'll do amount, medium, after hours. We have demolition, so I can take out flood cuts. So let's go 2-foot cutout, category 3, with bags, after hours, complete area. Insulation, if it's there, baseboards are here. So let's go category 3, dispose with bags, after hours, 100%. Oops, I went out of it again. Sorry about that. And then we can go back again. Equipment is in here. Everything that you would need, just so that you can see a brief overview. Cleaning is in here. PPE, labor only, testing. You got water, fire services, ceilings, walls, flooring, finished carpentry, cabinets, electrical, plumbing, pretty much, and it's broken down by category. And if you request an estimate from DocuSketch, it gets broken down in the exact same categories and the internal categories in each section, so that your scope ends up looking just like your estimate. So if I go back out to my main screen again, DocuSketch is as easy as clicking the 3 dots and hitting upload. This will upload pretty quick because I already have my sketch uploaded. Couple of big things to remember with DocuSketch. When you're uploading, you need to let it finish uploading. Try to make sure, if you're at an area where there is no service, get to an area where there is service. Make sure that you know you have service. Do not take a telephone call. Do not take a voice or make a text message. These things will disrupt the setup of the upload. So then it will fail, and a couple days later, you won't have your sketch and you'll be wondering why. And that's usually the common cause of what that is. A big factor is making sure that you're putting communication in your DocuSketch, especially if you're going to use estimating for us or an in-house estimator. The more information they have, the better. One last thing to show you on the app before I shut the app down is a feature for us that is catching on, and it's being used more and more. And I think the more that people use it, the better off our industry will be. And it's called the timeline feature. So if I click on the 3 dots, I have the ability to add a timeline. If I use the ability to add the timeline feature, there is no extra charge ever on that job. I can scan that job every day, 3 times a day for the completion of the job. There's only a charge for the first time. All I have to do is make sure that I name it differently. So if I'm in my second one, I'm going to go in and name it 2. I'm going to tell it the camera height, the ceiling height, and I'm going to hit next. And you'll see that it will take me to where each room is. I do not have to shoot in each room. I might do a timeline tour only of an area where we did work. All I have to do is go in and hit take new shot, and then go back and hit upload. Once I hit upload, it does what I'm about to show you. So here's my daughter's home. A timeline feature will show you, you can see that it is date and timed. So we have a date stamp and a time, and we have a date stamp and a time. I can look in full 360 of either date, or I have the ability to put them beside each other and look at what we've done in full 360. So if you've got your team in and they're cleaning, and you've done a timeline in the morning, you've done the initial scan, and then we did a timeline in the afternoon, you're getting to see the progression of the job all the time. It's helping document the job for you all the time. And again, it's documenting in 360. I can see everywhere. Your team does not have to put every single tripod placement together in the exact spot all the time. So you can see here, if I go into compare mode, I'm purposely not in the same position. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on, I'm going to unsync it, and we're going to move this one around We're going to just try to line it up as close as possible to there, and I'll hit sync again. Just by doing that motion, I now have the ability to have these two rooms lined up pretty close enough to be able to tell what the difference was at any given point. Within DocuSketch itself, everything begins for you in here. Everything is placed for you in here. So I have to watch the time, so we give everybody time. Quickly, you have an edit screen. Within the edit screen, you have the ability to blur an area. You have the ability to add photos from the desk. You have the ability to add voice notes from the desk, videos from YouTube, things to help justify your claim. You can archive, you can download your sketch, you can order an estimate from here or the app. Start Live is a feature that is going to be taken off here, I believe, shortly, so we won't go over it today. Share mode, very important piece, being able to share this link. So if I'm going to share my 360 with somebody, I have the option of creating a new link. You can see I have a few in here. So I'll create a new link. We'll call it PSA today. I want my sketch to show, but I don't want my comments to show today. I don't need anybody to see my notes. We'll make sure that everybody can see all of the rooms that I want. So I might have scanned a whole home, but I don't need to show the pantry, the back entry, the powder room, or the office. And I don't need to show the upstairs. And I'll hit save. That will now give me the ability that I can copy it and I can send it to whoever I need to send it to. That link will then open up and nobody will be able to see any part of the sketch or the comments, the things that I put in. You have full control over what can be seen and not be seen. Your download menu gives you everything. So from here, as we roll through it, if you took a front view photo, it will be here. Images, we give you the 360 images. So we're giving you the panoramic images as a still shot that you can choose to use if you wish. Cubic images, DocuSketch is taking 6 still shots from every tripod placement and we give them to you named by room. Comment images are all of those pictures. You may have taken your scope, you may have taken moisture readings. They're all listed here. All of your sketches are here, including your Xactimate ESX. What's not on here yet is the CoreLogic FML. It's getting, in the next update, I believe it will be listed. We currently, if you're using CoreLogic or Symbility, we send it to you as an FML. All of your comments can be brought into an Excel spreadsheet. If you're using our scoping tool, they're all listed. And if you're using our estimating, it is listed here. That is DocuSketch in a very quick fashion. So I'm going to let Christine take it again and talk about integration back to PSA before we have questions.
Okay, if I could just get you to drop your share. Perfect. Thank you. Okay, so the next step, if you're interested in connecting, if you have DocuSketch already or you want to get started, our system does talk with DocuSketch. The first step is to email our support department, who will start the process. They will reach out to DocuSketch to obtain the necessary API keys to enter into your database. Now, as we were looking at his dashboard, the way to link your job in DocuSketch to PSA, there is a link option here, which you will see when you are connected with Proven Jobs. So that will be the way to connect. And I'll just show you really briefly what it looks like in PSA. Proven Jobs, I should say. So once that link has been established from DocuSketch to us, then you'll be able to come into the job onto the DocuSketch tab, and you'll be able to run through the different tours that are available inside of that link. And you can have as many tours inside of a job as needed. All right, and that is our session. If you have any questions, please enter them into the chat box and either Nelson or myself will answer them for you. And if you don't have any questions now, and you do think of questions after the session ends, please reach out to our support team, support@canamsys.com, and they will be happy to give you information.
Hi Nelson, is there a way for DocuSketch to capture sloped ceilings? Thanks. DocuSketch is capturing sloped ceilings already. We capture all types of ceilings that are available in both Xactimate and CoreLogic. It doesn't show up in your 2D scan, obviously, but when you get in a sketch from DocuSketch in Xactimate or CoreLogic, it will have sloped, trade, peaked, every type of ceiling there is. Great question, Rick.
All right, any other questions from, oh, here we have one.
We currently use Matterport now. Should we use DocuSketch instead of Matterport? Connect with PSA also. Derek Gemez, I think I said your last name right. I'm a guy that is of both. I enjoy both. I use both. I think that you should have both. DocuSketch is faster to use than Matterport, so Matterport's clarity is unbelievable, and there are claims that it should be used on for sure. DocuSketch is a little bit cheaper, obviously, and automatically already goes into Xactimate and CoreLogic, so it's a little bit simpler process all the way around. I can't knock Matterport anyway. I love their system as well, so hopefully that helps you out.
And we do have integration with Matterport.
Does the camera need lights to capture fire on fire loss? We do need light for sure. We give you a light that you can use. That light will give everything that you need for a fire without question. It's very bright. So if you do get one of our packages, don't ever look into the light. The light also is a charger that keeps the camera charged for you. But as long as you've got that light, it'll give you all the light you need to do what we need for a fire loss. Can we use DocuSketch for sketching the roof using tall tripod? You don't need a tall tripod to do it for a roof. You can actually get a tall selfie stick, and DocuSketch can do the roofing for you, no problem. Can you drop and drag DocuSketch from your desktop to PSA as well as uploading the 360 from DocuSketch? That's a you question, Christine. I don't know if you can.
No, it has to actually be in the tab, the DocuSketch tab. Once you have clicked that link in DocuSketch, that tour will appear on that tab. There isn't a drag and drop into proven jobs.
How does DocuSketch integrate with Xactimate? It's the next question. DocuSketch right now is in discussion with full integration with Xactimate. We currently manually do all of the sketches in Xactimate and give you the ESX. So an integration isn't needed for us right now. We are doing it for a matter of speed so that we can speed up what we're actually doing with floor plans in a storm. But currently we don't need an integration to be able to use Xactimate. Does it cost extra to get an Xactimate sketch after the scan? For us, for DocuSketch, if you order a sketch, you get an Xactimate sketch or CoreLogic. You have an option of either, and it's included in ordering the sketch. It is, depending on the account you're on, it ranges anywhere from $45 to $47 for every 2,500 square feet. But there's no extra cost. Once you order a sketch, you get it automatically. looks like we
Oh.
got them all.
I think we got everybody. And again, like I said, if you do have further questions, reaching out directly to Nelson or to our support team, and we'll get those answers for you. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for joining us today. And as I mentioned, this recording will be placed in our help library as well as our YouTube channel. Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
everybody.
Thanks,
Thank you very
Nelson.
much for having me. Yep, no problem.
Okay. Bye.